Hello, this is Karim Machiavelli here. Today I want to talk about LGBTQ and the EU and how the EU is oppressing countries that are not willing to implement LGBTQ laws inside of their country. One prime example is Hungary. When Hungary was reigned under Orban, there were indeed a lot of controversies, so Orban was stealing a lot of money from the EU, and it's justifiable that Orban got fined for it. But here's the interesting thing. Orban was basically the only minister that got framed for stealing EU money, even though every country in the EU is stealing money from the EU. The reason they framed Orban for it, only Orban, was because Orban was the only one that didn't apply any LGBTQ laws or topics inside the Hungary school system. And that's when the EU started checking, okay, what can we fine Orban for? What can we fine Hungarian government for? And if you comply with the LGBTQ laws the EU is trying to force upon you as an EU member, you don't get any investigations for stealing money whatsoever. Only if it's like ridiculously high. So basically EU is using LGBTQ and immigration laws that they try to force upon the countries, and if you don't comply, they will fucking look for any kind of mistake they can get to take you under. Now, the reason the EU does this is because the EU is reigned by Ursula von der Leyen, and Ursula von der Leyen has already been caught with certain Pfizer deals, so corruption with pharmaceutical companies. Basically, the head of the EU, Ursula von der Leyen, that bitch, is a puppet for pharmaceutical companies, tech companies, etc., implementing age verification, implementing LGBTQ, because LGBTQ, the whole ideology, profits pharmaceutical companies extremely. They profit pharmaceutical companies extremely because hormone blockers have to be taken over years and years, and this is a shitload of money to solve a problem which initially didn't even exist until the pharmaceutical companies created this by using mass psychological techniques. And so the way to solve this whole oppression of LGBTQ, for example, is to first of all start investigating Ursula von der Leyen the most thoroughly way possible. Thank you for watching.